Tonight, what the Silver City is set to take out of this week's New South Wales budget. And the Reds hit the road, Adelaide United on their way to Whyalla.
This is Southern Cross News with Tim Hatfield.
Good evening, but first tonight, Port Lincoln residents will be hit with a 3% rate rise in the council's 2017 annual business plan. The budget will include vital stormwater management and infrastructure developments.
The main street flooded, cars ploughing through waist-deep water, local businesses left mopping up the mess. Port Lincoln Council was working to avoid a repeat of these scenes, allocating $500,000 in the annual business plan towards solving the stormwater issue.
We're in the middle of some serious planning, some serious modelling. It's going to be, over the next few years, it's going to be expensive to fix.
The stormwater project will include a Liverpool Street pump station, drainage in nearby areas and a further review of the management plan.
We need to do some serious works to make it, to flood-proof that part of town.
Ratepayers this year will be hit with a slight increase, but not as hefty as first predicted.
For the average ratepayer, that means about $50 a year or about a 3.2% rate increase.
The rise in rates largely due to electricity costs and infrastructure developments, such as the London Street Bridge and the Leisure Centre completion. New events, the Teakle Auto Sprint and Salt Festival, will be allocated $10,000 grants, ensuring their continuation for another year. However, a push for the sprint to become biannual leaves the door open for other events.
Perhaps there's an opportunity for somewhere else on Eyre Peninsula to pick up in those off years and put on some sort of motorsport event.
Meantime, Tunarama has been granted $30,000 to go ahead next year, but has not yet presented to Council for anything extra. Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Broken Hill is set to benefit from the New South Wales budget with millions of dollars committed to the Far West. The Broken Hill Lead Smart program and the new integrated health facility are two major projects to receive support.
There weren't too many new announcements for the Far West when the New South Wales budget was delivered. Most of the money is for projects already announced, like the Broken Hill Murray River Pipeline and the White Cliffs Water Treatment Plant. But there was good news for the city's new community health facility, with a further $10 million added to the project.
My understanding from the budget is that it's an extra $10 million into this project. So this is exciting for that project.
The Broken Hill Lead Smart program also received a funding boost with almost $2 million.
If we look at some of the work they're doing, we can see the ads are telling us every day the importance of being lead smart. So any funding goes into this is going to be a win-win for our young children.
It was announced last week that $100 million would be used to improve palliative care across the state, and Broken Hill will get a piece of that. A $1 billion boost for regional New South Wales was announced, including further funding for the Resources for Regions program, which helped finance the Civic Centre redevelopment.
We've been pushing for Broken Hill to be considered for Resources for the region for some time, so we were lucky with the Civic Centre build, but also the community will remember that the YMCA actually has fundings for that as well here. So we've had two bites of the cherry, and guess what? We'll be going back for more.
The budget also committed $900,000 for an upgrade to the Broken Hill Library. However, there is still confusion about the announcement, and Mayor Turley says she is seeking clarification on what the money is actually for. Patrick Reinke, Southern Cross News.
Rowan Ramsey has introduced a motion in federal parliament to support Adani's $74 million purchase of Whyalla Steel. He used the motion to criticise those who claim to support Whyalla but oppose Adani, saying they put Whyalla jobs at risk.
After years of controversy, Adani's coal mine in Queensland has been approved, with $74 million of steel ordered from Whyalla to build rail tracks. They were formally thanked for their purchase by local MP Rowan Ramsey through a motion in federal parliament.
I put up a motion saying, well done, we appreciate it.
He's trumpeted the order as being good for the steelworks, saying it keeps the order book strong, ahead of a new owner taking over in the next few weeks.
It's the second biggest rail order we've ever taken at One Steel RM. The other one being the Tarcoola line, and is enough work to keep the rolling mill going for another, flat out, for another 18 months.
While all parties express their support for Whyalla, some question whether the Adani order was big news. NXT's Rebecca Sharkey says the order is a pet project, compared to the billions in infrastructure spending in last month's budget.
That is only 0.04% of the combined government infrastructure spending over the next 4 years. a mere drop in the ocean.
Mr Ramsey has slammed the party stance, saying they're trying to support both sides of the debate.
You can't be in favour of Australian jobs, Australian workers, Australian steel, and then deny the projects that provide the jobs.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
Well, stay with us. Still to come in tonight's local news, the Reds hit the road, Adelaide United heading to Whyalla. The details ahead. Welcome back. Controversial celebrity chef Pete Evans will be the executive chef at the new $3 million Port Lincoln restaurant. Evans is infamously known for his controversial food diet, the Paleo Way, which incorporates some elements which have been criticised by doctors. However, the restaurant owner says that won't be a factor in the new menu, instead focusing on local produce. Evans will join as a cooking consultant to showcase the best seafood, meat and wine from the Eyre Peninsula. The restaurant is expected to be open sometime in late October. Whyalla will play host to Adelaide United's senior team next month, with the club conducting a community camp. Council has welcomed the visit, saying both adults and kids will enjoy the experience of seeing a professional club in action.
Since being formed in 2003, Adelaide United has been South Australia's team. The 2016 A-League champions will visit Whyalla next month for a community camp, following in the footsteps of other professional teams.
We've had it with the two AFL teams, we've had basketball, netball, to name a few sports that have come to Whyalla with their national league squads, but to have soccer or football, as it's called, come to Whyalla, it's great.
The Reds will be in town from July 12th to the 14th. An open training session will be held, where locals will see the first glimpse of new coach Marco Kurz, who was appointed earlier this month. Juniors will also have the chance to get specialist coaching, with the club's football school running a holiday camp.
See how they train, how they perform, what their daily routine is. It would be great for especially the younger players coming through now.
Soccer has a proud history in the city dating back 60 years, with the Junior Country Championships held here a fortnight ago. Mr Salatino says this visit will give the sport a boost in Whyalla.
Is in the spotlight at the moment, so this just is like the icing on the cake, and it does promote the local opportunities as well.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
The Motor Accident Commission held a road safety seminar in Port Augusta last night to discuss making good decisions on the road. Players from the Port Augusta West Footy Club attended the seminar after their training, hearing stories of those who took risks and those who never made it home. With young men identified as the most at risk of having road accidents, the seminar is doing the rounds of local footy clubs in the region. Police say it's vital for young guys to hear the message.
At the end of the day, we want those young men to play football, not just to be involved in road crashes. So we looked at ways of, talking to them in that way.
Well, petrol prices are still going down across the regions, and you're encouraged to fill up now while the low prices last. Here's Patrick with this week's Fuel Watch.
Keep topping up your tank because fuel prices are still very cheap. There's plenty of green across the boards, and we'll start with unleaded. It's definitely a good time to be in Port Pirie. An almost 5-cent drop sees the average down to just $1.20. Port Augusta and Whyalla have seen no movement for another week, while Port Lincoln is the only one to see a slight rise. Here in Broken Hill, we're still trending downwards, and Adelaide is doing even better. An 8-cent decrease sees the City of Churches on $1.08. To diesel now, and Port Pirie is again the cheapest in the Spencer Gulf, the price at $1.23. Port Augusta is breaking even, but Whyalla has seen a sharp drop to join Port Lincoln on $1.25. Broken Hill has just a small change, and Adelaide is about the same. So be sure to swing by your local servo and fuel up while prices are down. But remember that these prices are the regional averages, and they do not reflect the one particular outlet. So if you do find a spot that is selling it for a little bit cheaper, let us know on our Facebook page. Tim.
Thanks, Pat. A lucky Port Lincoln student received a shock surprise today, being awarded the first Peter Teakle Aviation Scholarship. The award will develop students on the Eyre Peninsula to fulfil their dreams in the skies.
The moment a student's life changed forever.
This person will be Cassie's girl. Hannah, I want you to take me flying.
Hannah Cash receiving the first aviation scholarship developed between the Port Lincoln Airport and Peter Teakle. Hannah was one of 12 finalists today, getting the surprise of her life, presented the award in front of her classmates.
Couldn't hold back the tears and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Hannah's passion for flying is thanks to the pilots who saved her life. Hannah and her family were caught in the devastating 2009 Victorian bushfires. Her incredible story of survival giving her the inspiration to one day follow in their footsteps.
We were continuously being bombed by water bombers to try and save us because we couldn't get out, and I've always wanted to help people and just do what they did for us. I consider them my heroes.
The scholarship will allow Hannah to complete her private pilot's licence, then move on to commercial aviation. Peter Teakle confident the future of Australian aviation could well rest here on the Eyre Peninsula.
In the next 12 years we'll need about 30,000 pilots. Where are we going to get them from? So here in Lincoln's a perfect opportunity to train young pilots.
Hannah not the only one receiving a shock. Her mum and dad in disbelief when they heard the news.
I couldn't concentrate on work for the rest of the day. I had to avoid Hannah because I couldn't take the risk of saying something.
The scholarship will be guaranteed for the next 2 years, but after that, the sky is the limit.
Shortly after today, I'll be keen to go further than that.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Well, stay with us when we return after the break. Low-flying planes set to hover across the region as part of this year's kangaroo count. The details ahead. Welcome back. People are turning to wood heaters to provide some warmth to beat the cold winter nights. Port Pirie Council, though, is warning that the correct wood must be used to avoid nuisance smoke and excessive air pollution.
There's nothing like a log fire on a cold night, but you have to know how to set it up properly. To minimise smoke and improve both inside and outside air quality, wood heaters need to be used correctly.
Very important that if we're going to have, or for people who have a wood fire in their lounge room, that they operate it correctly, they use the right type of wood.
For fire efficiency, it's recommended that older wood should be used and stacked with spaces between the logs.
You have to have seasoned wood, that is wood that is at least 12 months, preferably 2 years old, and has been dried correctly, so it's been stored under cover so that it can correctly season. It will burn far more efficiently and it won't have those smoke impacts on neighbours.
And there's the ever-present reminder to check the chimney is not blocked, as airflow is essential for the fire to burn.
Keep the flue open so that it burns at a level that doesn't end up emitting excessive smoke out of the top of the chimney.
The 2016 Local Nuisance and Litter Control Act states that it is an offence to cause smoke and penalties do apply. To avoid excessive smoke and to improve air quality, you should ensure that your fireplace is working correctly.
Go outside and see whether there is any smoke, see how your fire is operating, and certainly talk to your neighbours and ask them whether they have any issues or any concerns.
Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
Kangaroo surveyors from the Environment Department are set to begin their annual kangaroo count around regional South Australia. A survey crew will fly over pastoral and agricultural areas near Port Augusta, on the Eyre Peninsula and around the Flinders Ranges in the coming months to get their route numbers counted.
If you see a low-flying Cessna 206 in the next 4 weeks, it's no cause for alarm. The kangaroo management team will be counting our local roo populations.
For landowners that may look up or residents that may look up and wonder what's going on, it's just the aerial survey team doing the annual aerial kangaroo count.
The light aircraft is set to visit areas above Port Augusta, the Eyre Peninsula and the Flinders Ranges.
We operate at about 250 feet above ground level, 76 metres, and we fly east-west transects across the landscape.
This aerial survey has been conducted since 1978 and will cover over 200,000 square kilometres.
The skill that you need is to be able to search out kangaroos. We've got markers on the wing struts, which when you project them down to the ground, you're looking at a strip width that's 200 metres wide. So we're flying along at 100 knots, and every 97 seconds you're covering a distance of 5 kilometres long by 200 metres wide. So that's 1 square kilometre out each side of the aircraft.
Mr Dershowitz says while he expects there to be increased numbers of roos this year, their populations are responsive to weather patterns. The official numbers are expected to be finalised by November. Amelia Simpson, Southern Cross News.
Oh, June is Give Me 5 for Kids Month at Southern Cross. Tomorrow our team in Port Pirie will be hosting a classic sausage sizzle to help raise funds for sick kids and their families. They'll be down out the front of the National Australia Bank in Port Pirie from 10:30. Just follow your nose. And all proceeds will go to the Women's and Children's Hospital, which does such a great job when kids have to go down to Adelaide for treatment. So head along for your lunch or hop online to donate as well. Just go to giveme5forkids.com.au and make sure to select Spencer Gulf as your region. Well, students from Broken Hill's Morgan Street Public School have been working on an anthem for their centenary celebrations. Working alongside Chocolate Starfish lead singer Adam Thompson, the song is starting to take shape.
Singing with pride, heart and soul.
Here I stand, proud to be a Morgie, raise my hand.
The school centenary anthem aims to bring together the school's past, present and future.
It's a real honour because my business, Muso Magic, we travel all around Australia and around the world doing this, and to do a centenary song is something we've not done before.
The students have been workshopping verses and lyrics with Adam, learning choreography and jumping behind the mic for a music video to go with the song, with the teachers also getting involved.
It's great. The students are really enjoying the opportunity to work with Adam and his team and to be part of this special event, our centenary.
Adam says the kids have been energetic and enthusiastic during the whole process. He and all the students hope the anthem is sung by future generations for years to come.
For a lot of kids, it's probably the only time in their life they'll get to write a song, and to collaborate on something with the rest of their team at school, the rest of their year, is a pretty special moment.
And the search is on for all students who attended Morgan Street Public School to celebrate the 100th anniversary. A meet and greet night is on tomorrow at 5:30 for ex-students to meet the team.
We'd love to get some footage for our video, for our film clip of our centenary anthem, of ex-Morgies and especially generations of Morgies over the last 100 years if possible.
The anthem will be performed at the centenary event in October. Patrick Roinke, Southern Cross News.
Well, stay with us. Up next to look at the weather, and there is some rain forecast for the next couple of days. Welcome back. Turning to the weather now, a sunny day again, 21 in Port Augusta and 20 for Port Lincoln and for Port Pirie. Whyalla 19 with 17 in Broken Hill. On the national satellite, clear conditions continue with only patchy cloud moving across the region at the moment. Out on the waters, the winds to 10 knots to the east, the seas below metre and at southerly, sunrise at 7:24. But after today's winter solstice, we should see the days getting longer again. So looking at tomorrow, fine skies again, 20 for Port Augusta and for Port Lincoln, with Whyalla on at 19 degrees. Port Pirie also 19 with 17 expected in the Silver City. Port Lincoln could see some showers on Friday and Saturday, which is good news for the farmers, 19 then 18. Cleve also 19 then 17 and also hoping for some showers, 20 then 19 and for Woodner. Whyalla with a fine 20 on Friday, ahead of showers and 18 for Saturday. Port Pirie with a fine 20 on Friday, then possible showers and 18 for Saturday. Clare 16 then 15 and also with that change, Broken Hill fine on 19 to wrap up the week. And that is the local news for this Wednesday evening. Don't forget, as always, you can stay up to date with us on Facebook and on Twitter. We'll see you back here tomorrow night from 6:30. I'm Tim Hatfield from the team here at Southern Cross News. Have a good evening. Good night.